Okay.
Before I enter into this very, very important debate, quickly acknowledge the people of Magnified, what's been going on. I've spent the last 2 days being there. It's been pretty tough. Acknowledge people who had their homes devastated, and I'm thinking of them. I'm sure that the House is too, and wish them all the best. Right, so I'd like to begin thanking the chair of this committee and the other members of the committee. It has been a very collegial committee, and it's rather ironic on this day as I rise to speak on this bill. It'll be the last day I rise as a member of the Transport and Infrastructure Select Committee, as I've now moved on to another committee. But I'd like to thank the other people for working for it. It has been a very constructive discussion and debate within the committee. I think it's important to also acknowledge and thank all the officials, in particular Dr. Helen Paulson, we had a fascinating day out at ESR, seeing how the processes and watching how that process worked, and it gave us all a level of confidence and professionalism of the saliva testing process. The question, I think we've got to remind ourselves, why are we doing this? What is the why? Well, the why is very simple. It's about road safety. It's about so people have increased, lessen the chances of people getting hurt and killed on our roads. That is the reason. And we've heard the stats about the correlation with drug and alcohol and drug and drug driving. I think there's a classic example, and it's not just, we all immediately think about marijuana or pee when we talk about these issues. Recently in Australia, there was a horrific bus crash. A group of people going to a wedding, I think it was from memory. 10 people were killed. The driver was over the limit on tramadol, addicted to tramadol. And I think that is a timely reminder of why this sort of legislation is so important. Yes, there are elements in there that might not be absolutely perfect and give you a 100% result, but it's that balance between the safety of the community and the individual's rights, which brings me to the Bora report. And that's the way up. I'm personally very comfortable, and I know and the government is comfortable and overall with the fact that the safety of the population, people driving on the road, overrides the concerns of the Bora report. The other thing that's come up was there were two main other contentious issues on the committee. One of them was about impairment. It was quite timely, actually. A person known to many of us, Dr. Nick Smith, submitted on the bill. And he reminded us, which as the Minister did when he spoke, on the fact that when they did the alcohol legislation back in the early 90s, the random alcohol testing, breath testing, the same discussion about impairment came up. Whether someone was like a lithe, whether you could have someone who was a very robust individual, big athletic person, I don't know, like maybe like the Honourable Member Penny Hanade on the other side of the House, versus myself, a lean, fit individual. That might be taking a little bit of licence.
Member's just opening himself up for more debate. Back to the bill.
Yes. Well, it is relevant. With all due respect, it is relevant because what we're saying here is so we had the same discussion, because they would say that if a larger person could drink more alcohol and be less the same amount of alcohol as a smaller person, and therefore wouldn't be as impaired, and therefore they shouldn't be held that standard. Well, they just said no, that was an irrelevant argument. We went with the level that they accepted. That was the level. It was accepted by everybody, and look where we are today. Generally, we accept the fact that we have levels that the public recognise that if you're above that level, then you're deemed to be unsafe to drive, and that we've moved well on from that debate, Madam Speaker. And the other issue was around the whole randomness. Was the randomness and the time limit side of it. First of all, the time limit. There was quite a discussion about this because people were worried that the police were going to hold people on the roadsides for a long period of time. Well, what that would, and actually when you think about that, that's not actually what happens. The police don't want to hold people for a lengthy period of time. Their job is to process people as quickly as possible on the side of the road. If they get someone who they feel needs to be tested, if you have a time limit, then that would then potentially be someone gaming the system. That is not what we want, Madam Speaker. Look, I think most of the issues have been well and truly canvassed here. I'd like to thank everyone involved in this, and I certainly commend this bill to the House.
I don't know, Williams.
Okay, so the Select Committee Grant McCallum is moving to is the Environment Select Committee.
Oh, were people complaining about my keyboard? How loud is it?
Yeah.
Loud?
Yeah.
My keyboard. Sorry, everyone. It's not like he had much of substance to say anyways. I don't know. He was talking about fitness and alcohol and... I don't know. Did he say anything important?
I don't know. I think he was regurgitating other members' speeches, to be honest.